To coin a phrase from the great Michael Buffer, let's get this party started. I do want to hear from all the fighters and the promoters. I first want to start with Spencer Brown from Gold Star Promotions. Spencer, you've been a key component in these events in Riyadh, getting off the ground. And here we are. We've been waiting for this one, a big Riyadh season event at Wembley Stadium, the national home of the England football team. 90,000 people plus will be there. Talk to us about the importance of an event coming back to London, but also the success so far of Riyadh season.
Yeah, look, welcome to everybody, and some good fighters on here today, isn't there? Look, I'm just going to reiterate some things I've been talking to Turki Al-Sheikh with today. He's over the moon to be putting this card on. He's a massive lover of England. There's a lot of synergy between the two countries, and he's really looking forward to the event. He's been, one of the main people in doing the card. So although we might put the card together, he's the one who chooses the fights. He's the one who wants to see it, and he's particularly happy with giving some fighters chances that they may never had, or never have. So, and it's all about Riyadh season. It's all about the synergy between our two countries, and it's all about bringing a massive event, because we haven't seen this event for a very long time. We haven't seen a Wembley, and he promised us this a long time ago. We sat with him and he promised this, and Frank will probably tell you, and he's made it happen. Yet again, he's put his money behind it. The country put their money behind it. Look where we are now, this massive event, and he's got 3 more massive events to come as well. So, we're really looking forward to this, and he just told me to reiterate that he hopes everybody's happy with the card, hopes it's a fantastic day out, because it's not just going to be about boxing. This is going to be about entertainment as well. So that will follow, and you'll find out all about this. So it's not just about the boxing. This is about entertainment, and the fight. The top of the card is unbelievable. 2 English heavyweights going at it. We're really looking forward to it.
Indeed, and you look at the fighters that have been assembled, and it is going to be entertaining fights. A lot of these fighters don't fight on the back foot. They're very, very aggressive. Frank, just to follow on from what you heard there from Spencer Brown, again, the importance of a Riyadh season event at the National Stadium. Look, we've had some incredible events in Saudi Arabia. I mean, nothing beats the Tyson Fury-Alexander Usyk fight, but it is fantastic to get an event here.
Listen, the historic Riyadh season is iconic now. And it's because of the season, His Excellency, that this is happening at Wembley. We've got a fabulous, fabulous card. Probably the most stacked card in British boxing, certainly in my time in boxing. Phenomenal card. It's headlined obviously by Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua for the IBF title. And I've got to say, this is happening because of Riyadh season. It's happening thanks to the custodian to Holy Mosque, King Salman bin Abdulaziz. His Royal Highness Mohammed bin Salman, also His Excellency, obviously, Turki Al-Sheikh and the Riyadh season. And we're working together with Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, and Spencer Brown at Gold Star, Dr. Hearn and his team at Cellar, and GEA. It's been very important because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be putting a stacked card like this on. This is what's making it such a historic boxing event.
All right,
you think it's the first time Riyadh season have been in this country, and I think it's when you look at it, we're better than to do it at National Stadium at Wembley Stadium, hosting this unbelievably world-class event. And tickets will be on sale on Friday on Ticketmaster.com from midday, and it will sell out. This will sell out very, very quickly. So get online and get your order in.
Well done, Frank. You ticked every single box there. You should be standing here instead. Let's go to the fighters. And Spencer, you spoke about fighters getting opportunities, fighters getting that call, and maybe changing their life. And Josh Padley at the end there. Josh, that is you, isn't it? Really, getting that phone call, getting that opportunity. Tell me, what was it like when you got that phone call to say you're going to be fighting on one of the biggest cards, as Frank said, maybe the biggest card we've ever seen in this country?
As from about 10:15 last night, I actually set my alarm to go to work tomorrow morning today. So now to be on here, big stage with some of the best fighters that Britain has got to offer, it's quite a surreal moment for me.
Yeah, I mean, that moment will stay with you. But again, there's an opportunity there, isn't there? To beat Mark Chamberlain, the WBC silver lightweight champion. You then propel your career if you can get the W.
Definitely, yeah. I want his spot. I want to be where he is. So the only way to do that is beat him.
Beat him indeed. Mark, it's been an incredible journey for you in Riyadh season. One of the big success stories of Riyadh season. 2 fights there, 2 wins, 2 knockouts as well. We know that you are His Excellency's favourite fighter, and you go again.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to be back. 2 big platforms back to back. So first of all, I want to thank Turkey for giving me this massive opportunity, and obviously Frank Warren, my manager and promoter, and everyone who just puts the work in the office for making this happen for me. And then just got to put on a big performance on the night and keep pleasing, and I'm sure we'll be welcome back again.
How important is it that there are no slip-ups? You're on the cusp now of a world title fight, right? Fighting those guys that are top 10 in the world. How important is it you go in there, head screwed on and do a job?
Yeah, it's crazy to even see my name up there in the top 10. But obviously I've worked all my life for this, so proves hard work pays off. Just got to keep delivering and get the win and keep pushing on.
Yeah, great division, great fight, that one as well. I think one of the best divisions in the country is the light heavyweight division, stacked with talent. And one guy that I think surprised a few, maybe not the hardcore fans, but certainly the casual fans, is Willie Hutchinson with that magnificent performance against Craig Richards. He steps up again, this time to fight Joshua Buatsi. Willie, what are the thoughts going into this one? You were super confident last time. You said your name's on a world title belt. What's the feeling right now?
Well, listen, I'm very thankful to be here. That's the first thing I want to say. I'm very, very happy to be here. Listen, I'm always bundling with confidence. I'm the wrong person not to have confidence. And listen, I'm absolutely grateful for everything. Do you know what I mean? A massive card I'm on, and I'm, like I said, the last one, I'm ready to get the job done with him and move on to the next one. So I'm soaking it all up and I'm enjoying myself. And look at the people. I would never ever think I'd be in the lights of the table with these type of men. Do you know what I mean? I'm only a little lad from Cacace, Scotland, like. So I'm very grateful. I'm happy, and yeah, looking forward to putting on another big performance, get the job done.
In terms of a challenge, Craig Richards was a challenge. Obviously, Joshua Buatsi's slightly different. He's unbeaten, again on the cusp of a world title. Do you look at this as a big step up?
I think he's very similar to Craig Richards, if you want to know the truth. That's the God's and the truth. I think he's very, very similar, if not the same level as the man I just beat. So, yeah, I'm very, very confident in getting the job done against him and moving on.
Joshua, you heard it there. He likened you to Craig Richards in terms of ability. And a lot of people saw you beat Craig Richards. Everyone knows you're that level above. Would you make it when you hear that?
Before I answer, just to thank a few people. Again, very grateful for the opportunity. I want to thank God, my team that's worked tirelessly to make this happen. To be fighting on the Riyadh season, we can't complain. We're all grateful for it. My promoter, boxer, His Excellency, very grateful. And the opinions for the opponent means nothing to me today. We've been here too many times, so we have 12 rounds or less to settle it. It's that simple.
There was a lot of talk, obviously, of a different opponent, and that opponent's been spoken about now for maybe a couple of years. It isn't that opponent, it's Willie Hutchinson. How different do you have to change your mindset because it's not the person you thought you were going to fight?
It's not the person I thought was going to fight, but it's a person that's going to try and beat me, so the mindset's the same.
Frank, I want to quickly bring you in. Obviously, you promote Willie Hutchinson. He did surprise quite a few, Frank, in beating Craig Richards. You were always confident in your man in the 5 versus 5. How confident are you that he can get the job done against Buatsi?
Well, he didn't surprise me. I fancied him from the beginning, and I knew he'd deliver, and he delivered. Look, they've both got impeccable amateur background. You know, both have done it at the highest level. So they've been boxing, like most of the guys here, boxing since they were kids, but at the highest level. And I think it's Willie's time now. He showed in his last fight that he can beat a world-class operator, and he done it, and he boxed. I thought he boxed extremely well on the night. Josh is a world-class fighter, there's no doubt about it. But I generally feel that, and that's the reason we've really pushed for this fight, that Willie can beat him. And that's why we're here, that's why he's here, to go and win.
It is for an interim world title. Can we guarantee the winner of this will fight for a world title next?
The winner of this fight will be the mandatory challenger and the champion. By the way, the 2 champions are fighting in October, Bebatiev and Bivol, which is going to be a great unification match, again, which is part of the Riyadh season. Another brilliant fight. The winner of that is going to have to defend his title against the winner, or should I say Willie, next year, no doubt about it.
Let's have a quick word with Ben Shalom, the promoter of Joshua Buatsi. Ben, how confident are you with your man?
Look, very confident. I want to say thank you to Turkey. I want to say thank you to Riyadh Season, Spencer Brown. Huge opportunity. The reason we're here is the interim world title. You know, Josh wants the biggest fights. He's been the #1 light heavyweight in the country, or widely considered for a long time. And he'll want to prove that on September 21st. He's going to have to put in a big performance, but extremely confident. I think Willie Hutchinson has had a great win against Craig Richards, but this man's on another level.
It should be a fantastic fight. Two very confident fighters. Again, if you watch Willie Hutchinson against Craig Richards, you know that he's a top tier light heavyweight, and Joshua Buatsi has been one of the best light heavyweights, I think, in the world for a few years. Really looking forward to that one, as I am this fight next between Josh Kelly and Liam Smith. I saw this one scheduled, and I was like, is Liam Smith going back down to 154 pounds? I've been told, no, this fight will be at 160. I want to come to you first, Josh Kelly, to make that decision to go to 160 pounds when you've been so successful at 154 pounds. I think on the cusp of a world title fight, why jump to 160 now?
Well, firstly, I just want to thank a heavy thank you to Turk Al Sheikh, Rider Season, and a special thank you to Spencer Brown, because he put me on here when no one else would. He believed in this, so he got us this. Turk Al Sheikh and Spencer Brown, they got me this shot. So a big thank you to that. But I think 160. I'm a big 154, so I think 160 will suit me. But I mean, I've got nothing but respect for Liam. He's had a great career. He's put Liverpool on the map, him and his brothers. There's no bad blood between me and him. It's just business. So I'm looking forward to putting a great performance on. I think stylistically it's one of the best matchups on the card, and I think we could steal the card for sure.
Is it a stay forever at 150 or 160, or are you going to go back down to 154? What's the plan?
Not and bounce between both of them, to be honest. I've kept myself ready. I'm in shape, so I'm ready to go now. But 160, 154, it doesn't really matter for me. I'm a big 154, and I can fill out to 160. So we'll soon see. Let's
welcome in a former world champion at 154 pounds, Liam Smith. Liam, it's been a while since we saw you. Obviously, the last time was against Chris Eubank Jr. Back in September. You've obviously had to regroup since then, but you are back, and this is the challenge now. Josh Kelly at 160.
Yeah, obviously, you know, it's another great fight on a huge card, which I'm privileged to be sitting here, you know, with world champions, former world champions, you know, top prospects in world boxing. So, you know, I always said I wanted to fight on an anti-Joshua card at Wembley or Tottenham, and I'm glad I get the chance to do it now. So, you know, regarding the fight, I think it's a fight that not many people thought about, but once it's picked up, they thought, oh, that, you know, that's a good fight, that's an interesting fight. So, again, like I said, once I knew it was signed and sealed, you know, me focus is on Josh Kelly, and it's a fight that I'm looking forward to. It's a fight that I'm massively confident to win, and obviously I think, you know, Josh and Adam probably feel they're getting me at the right time, but, you know, there's been fighters before who made that mistake, and I think they'll do the same thing.
Do you think one of the big keys here could be experience, big fight experience? Obviously, you have travelled the world, you've put on really good performances away from home as well. Maybe we haven't seen as much as that yet from Josh?
Yeah, look, obviously, it's, you know, Josh has got to step up at some time. This might be his time, but, you know, from my point of view, looking at it, I think Josh and I think they're getting me at the right time, and the same way probably Anthony Fowler thought he was doing it after Russia. You know, I think Josh and Adam are doing it after the Chris Eubank fight and the time out the ring, but the time out the ring has been choice because of the injury I had. So, you know, I feel refreshed now, and, you know, we've got long enough now to go, and, you know, I'll have a good camp, and I'll be excited. As I say, this is lit a fire in my belly again, so it's one that I'm looking forward to. Got big respect for Josh and Adam, but, you know, business is business, and, you know, when we're in a fight with little gloves on, it's a total different story. So, you know, it's one that I'm massively looking forward to, and I want to thank, you know, all the promoters and, you know, Turkey, His Excellency, for having me on Riyadh Season, and I'm looking forward to make the most of it.
Let's ask Kala that question. Kala Sauerland, obviously, you look after Josh Kelly. Is it a case of thinking you've got Liam Smith at the right time?
Well, first of all, Spencer said it yet again. This Riyadh Season, the global takeover. We just got our breath back from Riyadh with the Undisputed and Eddie v. Frank, and it goes to LA, and then it comes to London, and this is a historic card. I think it's the best ever card that's been in the UK. If you look at the stacked UK fighters sitting up here, it's just a privilege with these amazing gladiators. But I think I know that the main event's absolutely gigantic. I think this fight can absolutely steal the show. I think it's the right time to fight Liam. I think it's also the right weight. And I think it's the time for, people who have been around the scene know Josh Kelly since many years. They know the potential. This is the time where Josh Kelly will shine. And at the most iconic venue in the world, in front of 90,000 people, absolutely.
Did you answer the question about do you think you got him at the right time?
Yeah, but I said, me and Liam and the whole Smith family got a bit of history. Goes back about 10 years. But I think it's not only the right time, but it's Josh's time. Not thinking so much about Liam, it's Josh's time. Adam has absolutely done a fantastic job. This man is on fire. And like I said, there's sitting there with all this talent. This is such a historic card. But I do believe this fight will steal the show.
There's so many fights on this card that could steal the show, so many fights on the card that could be fight of the night. And look, I look at two guys here that I know are just going to bring it from minute one in that fight, Anthony Cacace and Josh Warrington. So many magnificent performances, I think, over Riyadh's season. But I do think Anthony Cacace's performance at Joe Cordina might be the best one. Anthony, you go again, you fight Josh Warrington, he moves up in weight class. There's a lot of talk about you potentially moving up in weight class as well. How exciting is it for your career, considering the stop-start of it, that you are now the champion and you now fight on a big Wembley card?
Well, there's a difference now, I don't have to go looking for the fights. And to be sharing a ring with the likes of Josh Warrington, I've watched him over the years. Well, he's a real warrior. He's going to make it the best fight possible. So I think this is a real fan-friendly fight, and it's one for the fans.
Was you surprised that Josh took the fight?
No, it's a world title shot. Anyone who's turning down world title shots, I don't understand, because this is the pinnacle of the sport, and that's what everyone wants at the end of the day. So, I'm not surprised one bit, no.
Anthony, where are your belts, Anthony? You're a world champion, I don't see your belts.
Simon forgot to tell me to take them over, so I have a head like a sieve, so.
Next press conference, we'll see the IBO and the IBF
next time
titles.
we'll see it, next day.
Josh, you've been two-time IBF featherweight champion. You now move up in weight to super featherweight champion. A big ask, Josh, but you've done it before. Every time that your back's against the wall, you think of those fights against Carl Frampton and Lee Selby as the underdog. You always surprise people.
Yeah, it seems to be when my back's against the wall and I'm shiting myself that I pull the best performances out. Just like to echo everyone else, thank like Steve Wood, Eddie Hearn and Frank Smith, Frank Warren and George Warren for putting the shows together and coming together again. And of course the main man, His Excellency Turkey. We wouldn't all be sat here. Look around. I'm again echoing everyone else, but a lot of fighters here on the top table. Headline shows, Liam's headline shows, Joshua's headline shows, we've got the big boys on the top. I've headlined many shows, so we wouldn't be sat here if it wasn't for the main man. So thank you very much for the opportunity, and I also want to just thank Anthony and his team. This has been flirted with for a week or so, and I've had nothing but respect from Anthony and his team. His performance against Cordina was absolutely phenomenal. He boxed really well. He's got my full respect. And we're going to throw a kitchen sink at each other. But just like, the other fighting Irish fighters that have boxed, your Martin Lindsays, your Carl Framptons and your Padgett Islands, when I come free time, two-weight free time, I'll get the round in. So, listeners, there's nothing but respect between me and Anthony, and like he says, it's going to be a very fan-friendly fight.
Josh, it is one win in your last five. I don't think that really tells the story of your record, because a lot of those fights have been fantastic. The Luis Alberto Lopez one was very, very close. But it is one win in five. Is that extra pressure just to make sure you get the W now?
Nah, not whatsoever. People will say, oh, fucking hell, why is he getting an opportunity against Ticket Seller? Why is he getting an opportunity? Well, it's boxing. Like I said, His Excellency wants exciting fights on there. Back in the day, Roberto Duran lost to Marvin Hagler and then went straight into another world title fight against Thomas Hearns. One of my favourite fighters of all time, Marco Antonio Barrera, lost to Eric Morales in a world title fight and then went straight back into another world title fight. Rider season is about having exciting fights. And yeah, you talk about an L that I've taken there, but I want to be in exciting fights. This is my 8th world title fight. Every other fight that I have every fight I have is a fight of the year contender. And boxing fans want to be entertained. They want to see two fighters going at it and giving it their all. And that's what I'll be bringing on September 21st.
No doubt about it. We've seen it before, and I'm sure we're going to see it again. Apologies for the language as well,
Sorry,
Josh. Yeah, it's all right, Josh. It's okay.
Northern.
I get it. We're friends. It's fine. Eddie, I want to bring you in. We have another Queensbury versus Matchroom fight here. Obviously, your record so far in the recent weeks hasn't been the best. In terms of Josh, obviously, every time you've worked with Josh, he's always put his best in the ring. He's always done so well. What are you expecting from this one?
110% every single time. I'm so pleased for Josh. This is a fight like some of these other fights that got made last night and yesterday. Everything got finalised with contracts, and we finished everything with Josh about 8 o'clock last night. Train ticket was booked. Off he comes. I think Cacace broke a lot of people's hearts against Joe Caldina. He was fantastic that night. And I think Josh really deserves this. People talk about coming off defeats. Look at what he's done. He's already a 2-time world champion. He's filled stadiums in Manchester and arenas and Headingley and Manchester Arena, Ellen Road. He's a fantastic fighter. I think super featherweight's really going to suit him. He's been at featherweight for a long, long time, and every Josh Warrington fight is a thriller. He probably won 10, 15,000 tickets for this Riyadh season event. Unfortunately, they're not going to get them because they're going to go like hotcakes. But I think this is one of the fights of the night on what is a tremendous card. And it's been a frustrating period for Josh. I've literally, every fight that I've offered him, he said yes to. And we couldn't get it over the line. Now he gets the dream chance, as he said, to become a 3-time 2-division world champion.
Frank, let's quickly bring you in. Cacace is your guy. We did most of the interviews in the ring after your wins out in Riyadh, and I feel like this one gave you the biggest smile as well, just because we know what he's been through, struggling to get the fights because of injuries, and now here he is, a two champion, right? IBF and IBO. Is it going to be and still?
He did, and so seized the moment. He was. We really fancied him in the fight against a very good fighter in Joe Caldina, but he totally dominated the fight from the first bell, and it was brilliant. In with Josh, Josh won the world title. Leads on our show we put together for him, and he's a good fighter, but I think he's in with somebody who is coming into his own now. He's had, as you said, a few disappointments over the years, but if you're patient, you keep at it like he's done. He went out and showed what he's capable of, and he showed, at that level he is absolutely world class. It's a fantastic fight. The winner of it's going to have the mandatory challenge against Eduardo Nunes. So that again is a big fight. But, this is one of the great fights on the card. It's going to be an unbelievable fight, competitive fight. But I have a lot of faith in Anto, a lot of faith in him, and I believe he'll deliver again.
Yeah, another competitive fight is in the middleweight division, and I was in Birmingham on the weekend, and I saw Tyler Denny put on, I think, a masterclass for a few rounds against Felix Cash. Maybe the underdog in the bookies, but not in my eyes. He looked really, really good in the lead up to that fight. The current European champion, and he gets his shot against Hamza Sheeraz. You just fought a few days ago, Tyler. Here you are again on another big one. An underdog in some people's eyes, but I know you have supreme confidence you're going to get the job done.
Yeah, of course. Firstly, I just want to thank Turkey, Spencer Brown, PCB, Howard Johnson, and this man here, Ben Shalom. I think it come up on my memories. 2 years ago today, I won the English title, and here I am now. So let's keep grafting. But yeah, I fought Saturday, and the last few days have been mental. Lack of sleep and getting excited about this, and then trying to not get too excited until last night when it was confirmed. But we're here now, and I'm buzzing with it. Hamza Sheeraz, top fighter, someone I respect as well. Can't say a bad word about him if I wanted to. But saying all that, I'm here to win, man. I'm the European champion, man, and I feel like I'm going to get a good performance on and get the win.
Indeed. I feel like Hamza's going to echo all those statements as well. Hamza, fantastic win against Ammo Williams. That puts you in a position to fight for a world title. You take the call, you fight the European champion. What did you make? You would have watched the Felix Cash fight, I'm guessing, against Tyler Denny. What did you make of that performance?
Yeah, man, this is big time boxing. It's great to be here. First of all, I'd like to thank the Almighty Allah for allowing us to be here. I'd like to thank His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh and the team, for allowing my dreams to come true. At the same time, it's an honour to fight on such a great undercard. And Anthony Joshua is someone who I've looked up to my whole career. I've moulded myself around him, so you know what I mean. It's an honour to say the least. And going back to your question, yeah, I watched the fight. It's a good performance, definitely a good performance. But at the end of the day, this is boxing. It's a brutal sport. It's about being hungry, making it happen. And I've got respect for Tyler as a person, but when it comes to September 21st on fight night, it will definitely be brutal, to say the least.
You could have waited. You are in a mandatory position. You've decided to take this fight rather than wait for the Carlos Adames fight, the WBC title. Why have you done that?
Because it's an opportunity that was given. Listen, I gave the green light to all the names that I put in front of me. I gave the green light to them, and it wasn't meant to be. And this is it. It's written. Myself versus Tyler Denny, Wembley Stadium, September 21st. Let's have it.
Let's go back to Tyler Denny. Tyler, again, look, I think incredible performance. You're going to need another incredible performance. Have we seen the best of you? I almost feel like there's still a few more gears to go.
Yeah, I feel like if you ask my coaches what I do in the gym, they get very frustrated sometimes. I don't always show it. And I think the better the opponents, the better I'll be. And I think Hamza ticks that box for that. I think he's... people who write me off against Cash, I beat him. But Hamza's another step up. But my confidence is sky high at the minute. And I feel like I'm invincible as well. Willing to take on any challenges. Wembley Stadium, Hamza Sheeraz. It's a no-brainer. I'm there.
Ben, quick word from yourself. Obviously, you look after Tyler Denny. Magnificent win, as I said, on the weekend. This is a completely different task, though, isn't it? I mean, Hamza Sheeraz is touted as one of the best prospects, not just in the middleweight division, in all of the divisions in boxing. How tough a task is this for Tyler?
It is a huge test, but I tell you what, this is a whirlwind. This is a fairy tale that never seems to end. When we got the call on Sunday, I didn't even want to tell Tyler until it was signed. This is truly life-changing, and I thank Spencer and His Excellency for making this British boxing story come true, because he deserves it. I mean, he's been written off his whole career, so this is nothing new. Every fight he goes into is the underdog, and he's going to have to step up again, and he's done it. 6 back-to-back wins now, many unbeaten fighters on that record, and this is another big step, but I believe he can do it, and I believe he's there to prove people wrong on September 21st.
All right, there you go. That's the undercard concluded, and now we go to the big boys. Anthony Joshua against Daniel Dubois, former two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world. Anthony Joshua against the new IBF heavyweight champion of the world, Daniel Dubois, coming off that incredible performance I felt against Filip Hrgović. AJ's been to Wembley Stadium before. He's had some fantastic nights there before. He goes again. Daniel, this will be your first time in the National Stadium, and I expect Daniel to perform as well. Before we hear from both fighters, I do want to hear from both trainers first. I want to start with Don Charles. Don, I do think since Daniel Dubois has been with you, we've seen a change in Daniel Dubois. I felt like we saw that against Alexander Usyk for a few rounds. We certainly saw it against Jarrell Miller, and obviously we concluded it with that Filip Hrgović performance. What have you done to your man?
Well, it's all that. By the way, good afternoon, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, for coming down to support this great historic event. History to be made. Going back to what you asked me in terms of improvements, it's there for all to see. It's a work in progress. We've been together, myself and Daniel and the team, for 12 months. So people have to remember that it's just 12 months. And what he has done in that period, and we're operating, in my opinion, in 35/40% capacity. There's so much development and growth to come. So what he's achieved in that period, in the last 12 months, is unthinkable, and we're just getting started.
In terms of a loss on a record, a lot of people say you take a lot from your wins, but you can take a huge amount from a loss as well. When you look at that fight against Alexander Usyk, considering who Alexander Usyk is now, can you take a lot from that defeat?
Most definitely. Every disappointment, every time you go out there, whether you don't succeed, you learn from, whether it's a good or bad experience, it's still an experience, and you learn from them. Obviously, we're terribly disappointed for the outcome. It was a fight of two halves. We won before we lost. So we got to learn in situations, should that happen again, to be able to close the show, So it's an experience to be learned from that situation. Of course, is as much as I can sit here, and we've accepted it basically, and acceptance is a way of cure. You move forward.
Let's go to Ben Davison, the trainer of Anthony Joshua. Ben, since AJ's been with you, I think he's looked perfect, right? I mean, we all have been hearing people say we want to see the old AJ, the old AJ. I don't know if that adage is true, but what we can see now is that we are seeing a very, very confident Anthony Joshua. I'll ask the same question I asked to Don to you. What have you changed in AJ?
Nothing really. I just think that maybe it's the way that we articulate what it is that we want him to do, and we set out a game plan is as good as it gets when it comes to executing.
You and your team, Lee Wiley and everyone backstage, I know you're very, very articulate in terms of the way you break down fighters. You would have broken down Daniel Dubois. You would have looked at those performances. Give me a positive first about Daniel Dubois. What does he do well?
I'm not going to talk about his strengths and weaknesses. That's for us to go away, work on, dissect, and plan to overcome. But like I said, we've already done the groundwork. It's just a case of going through that with AJ. And like I said, I know when it comes time to execute, there's no one better.
And so far, so good in terms of execution from Anthony Joshua. Okay, let's hear from both promoters, Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn. We'll start with the champion promoter first, and that's you, Frank Warren. Frank, you've had Daniel since he turned pro. I feel like we've seen everything with Daniel, the ups and downs. You've always backed your man, and right now you have another heavyweight champion of the world. You must feel really blessed with the story of Daniel Dubois, considering the amount of critique he got against Joe Joyce to where he is now.
He's not the challenger, he's a champion.
I said you got the champion. I said you have the champion, yeah.
The challenger. Look, he's done brilliantly. He went and fought Hrgovic when a lot of people chose not to fight him. He was undefeated at the time and done a magnificent job. First couple of rounds were a little bit tough for him, but he overcome that and showed what he's all about. And the prize at the end of the day was this fight at Wembley. And it doesn't get any better than this. You've got two Brits in there fighting for the IBF title, two probably of the biggest punchers in the heavyweight division. And as we all know, when you've got two quality British fighters fighting each other for such a prestigious title, or a prestigious title, you always get a classic fight. Big punchers, it won't go to distance. Somebody's going to go. I've got my opinion who I feel is going to win. That's why we've done this fight. And one thing's for sure, it's going to be exciting. And it's one of them where you can genuinely say, do not blink. Do not blink.
I was watching a few old interviews, Frank, in the lead up to doing this, and for a few years now, you've been saying you fancy Daniel Dubois against Anthony Joshua. You wanted the fight. Obviously, this gets Anthony Joshua to the table. But why have you been so confident, and why have you been wanting this fight for so long?
I think because of styles. And in the last year, Anthony has matured, not just as a fighter, mentally as well. And you've seen that. He's gone into his last two fights, and the bookmakers had him the underdog in both those fights, and he fought in those fights like he was the favourite. And he'd go into this fight with a lot of people, and certainly I've seen with the bookmakers as being the underdog. I don't see it that way. I've got a lot of respect for what he's done. Certainly lately, AJ, he's on a roll of 4 wins. But if you look at the last couple of fights, Anthony's fought better quality fighters. Daniel's fought better quality fighters, and I just feel it's his moment. He's 26 years of age, he can punch, he can box, he's a great finisher. If he gets you in trouble, I think he's probably one of the best finishers out there. And it's a battle of hearts and mind. That's what this fight's going to be about. Who's got the strongest heart and who's got the strongest mind? They're both big punchers, and who's going to to find their plan B when they get in trouble. The jab is the key to this fight.
Eddie, let's bring you in. Obviously, long-time promoter of Anthony Joshua. You've had him since after the Olympics. You've had some incredible nights. Let's not forget Wembley against Vladimir Klitschko, Wembley against Povetkin. You travelled the world with AJ for huge success. Here we go again, back Wembley Stadium. AJ looking to become a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. Sell your man.
I mean, the resume, the history speaks for itself. Just to reiterate what Frank and Spencer said earlier about this incredible movement that we're seeing in boxing. I mean, what We're 9 months into the inception of Riyadh's season. And I think when we began this journey, no one believed that Riyadh's season would leave Riyadh. And His Excellency says he wanted to bring a major event to the UK, to Wembley Stadium. I didn't necessarily believe him at the time. I thought it was all hyperbole in an interview. And it was the truth. What he's done is create, in my opinion, one of the biggest nights the sport has ever seen in this country. And that sits just 6 weeks after Riyadh season Los Angeles, which is fast approaching as well. So we're very lucky to be on this journey, and very lucky to be on the journey with Anthony Joshua. I mean, quite nostalgic walking around today, thinking back to the days of where we were. I suppose we were the rookies, really, walking around Wembley Stadium with 90,000 people, hearts beating out of our chest as he dethroned Vladimir Klitschko in the other greatest night in British boxing history. And he gets to do it all again here to become a 3-time world heavyweight champion. An accolade that sits with very, very few. And it's a real fight. We respect Daniel Dubois. I think he's done incredibly well. There weren't many screaming out to fight Filip Hrgović. He did it, he stepped up. And I'm so glad that he's champion, because AJ can come in, as he always does, with a challenger mindset. But when he beats Daniel Dubois, he would have beaten another champion to become a 3-time world champion. This is just part of the journey to Undisputed, which we've never lost sight of. And we see it. We see it clearer than ever. In the shape of his life, in the form of his life. This man to my right has done an incredible job. So yeah, in terms of selling him, just sit back and watch a night that is going to make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. A thrilling main event, 2 Brits fighting for the world heavyweight title, and a breathtaking undercard with these guys down here that's just been put together in the most stunning fashion.
Final one, Eddie. If I were to have asked you or told you that AJ is going to be fighting in front of 90,000 at Wembley Stadium and it's going to be a Frank Warren fighter, you probably wouldn't have thought it would be Daniel Dubois. How incredible has his turnaround been?
AJ never really asks who he's fighting. Obviously, myself, and I want to thank as well 258 that have done an incredible job throughout the journey as well. Take care of the business with AJ. He will fight anybody. And when Daniel got the victory, that was the opponent. It just happens to come with a shiny red and gold belt that makes even more history for, I think, one of the most pivotal characters in the history of our sport in this country, in Anthony. And it just feels perfect. The timing feels perfect. So confident, so relaxed. It's just like bread and butter for Anthony Joshua these days. Another stadium, another big challenge, more pressure, ready to do the business.
Ready to do the business indeed. All right, let's hear from our 2 main event fighters. Let's start with the champion, Daniel Dubois, the new IBF heavyweight champion of the world. Does it feel a bit different? You've heard me say that now a few times, the IBF heavyweight champion of the world. That's a dream, right? Fighters start out and they want to become champions. You now are that. Does it feel any different?
Yeah, a little bit, finding out. I would have loved to win it on the night of my last fight, but, here we are. I'm grateful, I'm blessed, and, we keep going.
Have you found out something about yourself with your last 2 performances? You had to dig really deep against Jarrell Miller. You found something. You found that second win and got the late stoppage. You had to dig really deep against Filip Hrgović, and you found something there as well. Do you feel like you're finding something out about yourself after every single fight?
Definitely, I'm learning more about myself, how to be, as a fighter, as a person, coming out of the darkness, going into the light, and, being the man of the future, and, improving all around as a fighter and athlete. So, yeah, really up for this, ready to go.
I asked Frank about the call-outs for AJ. You've also been calling out Anthony Joshua for a while. For a long time, he was the top dog. Was that the call-out, or was there anything else in it?
That's just where I'm aiming for, to be the best, to fight the best and beat the best. And, AJ's been the king for a long time. And, we all know he's been the king for a very long time. And on the night, I need to become a king slayer. And that's my goal, and that's the mission at hand. So I'm just ready to go.
You are underdog in this fight. That doesn't really mean much because you've been underdog against Jarrell Miller and you were underdog against Filip Hrgović. How confident are you, Daniel, that you can get the job done September 21st?
I'm ready to let my fist do the talking, I'm 100% ready to go. I'm going to go to camp, focus, and train like a beast. So, yeah, bring it on.
As you've always done, bring it on, Daniel Dubois. Let's go to AJ, 2-time former unified heavyweight champion of the world. Here we are again. As you've always said to me, next man up.
Yeah, correct, next man up. Congratulations to Daniel for winning his last fight. I went out there to watch it live, and we're here now. And before I carry on, we have to give a shout out to all the promoters on the table, bringing this card together, and especially His Excellency as well, because he's brought me some unbelievable opportunities to fight, and this one is near enough topping it, bringing Riyadh season to the UK. Phenomenal opportunity, but as I said, I went out there to watch the fight. Good fight between the two of them, Hrgovic and Dubois. I picked Dubois to win as well.
Yep.
I watched boxing closely, and I picked him before, and it came true, and we're here. So I've been having Dubois on my mind for a while, and he'll be on my mind for the next 12 weeks until I get my hand raised.
You say you've had him on your mind for a while. You've always been linked with Deontay Wilder and potentially a Joseph Parker rematch. Tyson Fury's name has been mentioned for the past decade.
Yeah.
Not much Daniel Dubois. So you've had to almost, I guess, realign your mind quite quickly, right, recently, because he's not really been thought of as your opponent.
No, not like the way they mention like Fury or they mention Wilder. Not in that same breath, but I'm not silly either. I know the game. We're all in the wild, innit? We're a pack of lions and we're hunters, so I've got to keep my eyes peeled. I can't just focus on those two and not worry about anyone else. So I've always kept my eyes peeled on Daniel and the rest of the heavyweights as well. So whoever it was going to be in there on that seat, I would have still been ready to fight September. So yeah, it just happens to be him now.
Yeah, obviously, look, it's a massive night for Riyadh season. We are going back to Wembley Stadium. You were so successful there against Vladimir Klitschko, against Povetkin. Is the carrot being dangled, that extra kind of cream on top, if you like, the fact that you are looking to become a three-time heavyweight champion of the world?
Not necessarily, if I'm honest with you, because the goal is just getting through a successful training camp, doing exactly what I need to do, instructed by my team and my coach, and then performing on the night. And then the shiny stuff comes at a later date. But for me, the goal is just to kind of focus on what's in front of me. And that's a good training camp, it's a good performance, and everything else comes after that.
He's a young man, Daniel Dubois, only 26 years of age, right? He's been around for a long time. You're slightly older, obviously still in fantastic shape, but slightly older, Anthony. What's it like now, these new young heavyweights coming up that you've almost got to slay?
Well, being an old man, basically.
Being an older man.
I feel fresh. As my shoulders clicking. Nah, I feel good. Like, I don't drink, don't smoke. Have a little turn up now and again, but I still don't drink, don't smoke. And that's about it. That's my only vice, just socializing. So I feel good. Thank God I didn't get caught up in no antics outside of boxing. I use boxing as a path to keep me on the straight and narrow. I didn't use it as a path to kind of take me off it. So yeah, young fighters coming up, look after your bodies, look after your minds. It will pay dividends in the long run. So for this fight here with Daniel, it don't matter if I was 35 and he was 15, 20, 25. It don't matter. It's just a fight and I'm in peak condition. I feel good. I feel strong. So yeah, age is just a number in this one.
All right, I do want to get the final words from Eddie and Frank. I was going to ask this question to AJ, but I know how AJ won't answer it. So I'm going to come to you. And AJ, feel free to jump in if you want to on it. Obviously, this is for a heavyweight title. There is a big fight December as well. Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. Is the big plan here, Eddie, potentially, if AJ comes through this one, to fight the winner of Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk?
I think the answer from AJ would, of course, be September 21. But as a team, we have a plan, we have a vision, and we've always believed he will be undisputed champion. As it happens, the rise or the re-rise of Anthony Joshua has given us more confidence than ever. And we don't see anybody in the division beating him. Not just Daniel Dubois, anybody. And again, that's the work that he's put in. You know, he talks about he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke. Any young fighter, any young sportsman wants to understand how to live your life, follow Anthony Joshua. Every day's training camp. You know, it's not how long do I have to get ready. It's just he's ready and he just turns it up when camp begins. So we've had a dream, been manifesting the Undisputed Championship, and that's what's going to happen. It's not a case of if or maybe, and there's no plan, there's no contract to fight the winner. It's just going to happen. He's going to win this fight, and then he's going to beat the winner of Fury Usyk. But he's just focused on September 21. I've just got wild dreams that I just know are going to happen, because I can see it, I can smell it, and I can breathe it. I can't wait.
Frank, obviously, I have to give you a chance to rebuttal on that. Obviously, look, your guy could be potentially fighting for an undisputed heavyweight title. What do you make of Eddie's words there that it's going to happen? You can already see it in the stars.
Eddie's very confident of Anthony, and I'm very confident of Daniel. We'll find out on the night. You know, styles make fights, all those cliches, everything. But you know what? Once that bell goes, they're going to get down on it, and it will be exciting. There's no doubt about it. They ain't going to be fiddling around trying to feel each other out. This is going to be warfare in the ring. That's what it will be. This is going to be a great, great fight. And this man here is going to be successful in defending his title. That is how I see the fight, and nobody's going to change my opinion on that. That's how I see it, and I believe he'll do it.
Great fight, great main event, great undercard as well, sorry.
And just, I've got to say it, don't forget, this Riyadh season card, the Wembley edition, 21st of September, Friday, tickets are on sale at ticketmaster.com from midday. You better get your ticket order in now, because this is a guaranteed sellout. This is absolutely the best card that's been on in the UK in my time in boxing. A fabulous, fabulous night of quality boxing, thanks to the Riyadh season. Don't miss it.
I had that written down, Frank. I was going to say it.
I know,
but
we're just naturally promoters. So
no, very true.
Promoting the show, that's what we're doing.
Very true. Just before we do wrap, I just want to quickly get a word from Hamza Sheeraz. Hamza, obviously you are a Riyadh season ambassador as well. Congratulations on being that. What does that entail? Does that entail promoting Riyadh season as you always do?
Yeah. Just a massive thank you to His Excellency for believing in me, for choosing me to have that role. And yeah, it just entails promoting Riyadh season, really. Promoting Riyadh season, turning up to all the events. I went to the UFC the other night. It was a great event. And I mean, I can't express through my gratitude through words, really. So it's all about just putting on good performances, carrying on winning, and just giving back, really, and promoting Riyadh season to the best of my ability.
There you go. Fantastic fight card, fantastic main event. As I said, September 21st from the National Stadium, Wembley. We're expecting something very, very special. Just to add something extra to that as well, we are going to have a huge music act performing there as well. And if you've covered Riyadh season, you know when I say huge, it will be a huge performer. All right, the fighters are going to do face-offs for the media now in front of us. So let's get ready for that.